Well, hello everybody. How you doing today? Welcome to the live stream. I've got a packed lineup of updates to share with you. ChatGPT, they just made projects free for all users. It's a great feature. I've talked about it here numerous times. I love that feature. I'm on the Plus account, so I've had it, but they've now added all users. So if you're on the free, you now have it. Notebook LM rolled out the new, a brand new audio overview format with different things now, like they've added to it, which is pretty cool. Gemini 2.5 Flash, also known as Nano Banana, the funniest name ever, that we talked about last week. There's even more to show y'all. They make it incredibly easy to create images, make updates. I've been playing with it since we were here last week, and I've been having so much fun. We're also going to cover the latest from school. They've got some new updates coming, and I'm super excited. And I know a lot of us here like to build our own communities, and I want to just briefly share some of that, where native live streaming is going to be available, and I definitely have ideas of how I'm going to use it. And they got these new subscription tiers coming, very much like Patreon, and they're just making it easier more than ever to run your own community through the school platform. And we're also going to talk about how to go live on Substack. Jim is here with us today, and he has some great info on that. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Madalyn Sklar. I help content creators, marketers, and entrepreneurs get more done in less time when it comes to social media and AI, because let's face it, we all get so overloaded. There's too much information. So I'm here to just try to make things a little bit easier for everyone. So let's bring up our guest panelists that are here with us today. Hey, everybody, how are y'all doing?
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
What a great group. Everybody's here. Class is in session.
No,
Well, it is back to school, so.
This is the Brady Bunch.
Such a great hour to spend
We
here.
just need another row, guys.
Marsha. Who's Marsha?
That is so
Marsha,
funny.
Marsha.
Marsha, I was just thinking that. Marsha.
Sure,
Marsha.
Jan. I mean, how many came from that, you know?
So this is
Hi,
interesting
everybody.
because it doesn't seem like our live stream is showing it's out, and I see it on X, but there's like 2 people watching. Usually by the time the countdown timer and we're at this part, we already have quite a few people in here. So
Where are all the fans?
I'm using the reusable studio on StreamYard, and I normally don't. So I don't know, Jim, have you ever had any issues with it? Because something's not right with this.
I see. Let's see.
There's been 0 the whole time on my X, and normally we have
I see us on YouTube.
a lot. This is weird.
Hi, YouTube.
Let me check my Facebook because I'm streaming.
So
Perfection is overrated.
it's interesting because it's out there, and yeah, I see your comment, Rachel. So that's where
I'm seeing it on X as well.
I see it on X, but I don't think people are. It's not showing up for people.
The internet's acting weird this morning.
Yeah, because the algorithm is not doing its thing. It seems like if you know to go. But that's so for those that are here live, we appreciate you, because I think you actually went to one of our pages and you see us live, but the algorithm is not doing its thing, because this is interesting. I hope it's not because of the reusable.
I wouldn't think so, because it's still sending out.
It's still sending it out. Yeah, but how come on all the social platforms?
Well, you know what? But you didn't. But you didn't schedule it in advance.
I did. I always schedule these. This is scheduled.
I don't. It's scheduled with the reusable studio. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. This was scheduled. I had all this. I always check it too.
I don't know.
The YouTube, Facebook, all my stuff showed it as scheduled.
Well, this is perfect, because, and for those of you watching right now, they're talking about StreamYard. They've made some changes lately. So the way Madalyn's doing this live stream is a little different than usual. So this is kind of a learning experience.
It is, because something is not right. So it makes me not want to use this part of StreamYard and go back to the other part of StreamYard. We'll leave it. It's all good, but the numbers are way off. So something's not right. But it's all good. We got all kinds of things to talk about today, but let's just first go around the room. Have everybody do just super quick introduction, because I know Jim's got to leave in a few minutes. I want him to show us some cool Substack stuff on how to go live. So Jim, why don't we start with you? A little bit about you.
Yeah, Jim Fuse. I'm the president of Fusion Marketing, and I guess really I've been doing a lot of focusing on Substack. I just love how it's a direct to creator platform, and it really helps you build community. And I think that and school are where you want to go before the year ends if you haven't already.
You're doing an amazing job with Substack. I've been so impressed with how you're using it and building connections and community with this. So if anybody wants to like really get a grasp of how to use it well, follow Jim and just watch what he does. Every day when I look at my feed and I see all the stuff you're posting, Jim, I'm like, you are so brilliant. And the way you tag people, it reminds me of just old school Twitter, you know, of how we built connections and networking and stuff. It reminds me of old Twitter networking.
Absolutely. And I learned that from you.
Awesome.
The ripple effect.
Yep. Yep. And Barb, tell everybody a little bit about you real quick.
I'm Barb Tomlin, known on all the social networks as Barb TUSA, and I need to update my elevator speech. That's for sure.
There's no pressure.
I have been online forever. And so going clear back to the BBS days, and I've had all kinds of monikers, one of which is Beta Barbie. I was one of the original beta testers of this particular platform that we're all live streaming on and we fell in love with. And I just, you know, and going live is real. To me, it was like the game changer for all of us and connecting around the globe. And I met most of you, I think, on going live. So I'll work on it for next week.
Oh, all good. All good. This is casual. Y'all know how I roll. Rachel, tell everybody a little bit about you.
I had to find the button. Hi, Rachel Thompson, author, also known as Bad Redhead Media, where I help authors with book marketing, socials, reviews, Substack, or newsletters, anything having to do with really basic book marketing. I'm your girl.
Awesome. Maria, we've missed you. Glad you're back.
It's a busy summer. It's a busy summer. Hi, everybody. I'm Maria Humphreys. I'm the host of the Strong Body, Strong Soul podcast. But full transparency, I haven't come out with any new episodes in a while. I've been podcasting for a long time. I'm a meditation teacher, and I'm really passionate about helping people to find their own power in their own voice. So I've been out here for years now building communities. I love social media. I'm kind of a tech geek too. So I love Madalyn. I've been following her for years. And so this particular show is so fascinating to me because the whole component of AI is so important to everybody right now. So I'm here to ask the questions from the newbie standpoint.
I love it. So glad you're here with us, Maria. And I just love you. You have such a great podcast, radio, live stream voice. Like you just have such a great voice. And you're so good at what you do.
Thank you. I'm really loving Spaces on X, even though the platform's kind of wonky, right? Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Madalyn.
That's awesome. And Bez, tell everybody about you.
Well, my name is Bez Renhefo. I am a headhunter, and I mainly specialize in healthcare and tech. And I am also a career whisperer. And that was an accidental journey. Someone came up to me in November of last year and said, "You will be my career coach." And I'm like, me, or this person back here. But anyways, I really get a big kick out of it. And I've been giving free career advice for 30 years, and now someone's paying me for it. Wow. Actually, a few people now. So
that's awesome.
I made my first online dollar in November of 2024, but I started the journey in 2016. So I'm a take my time.
OG.
Yeah.
Back to the 80s, baby. I always think of that when you're here.
I want to ask everybody, have you seen those social media posts about come back to the 80s, 2025 must be horrible? Have you seen those?
Yes.
Some people just redid their profiles. Yes.
They're brilliant. Yes. Talking about how easy life was and how we play outside all day until it's dark and, parents don't care what you're doing. Oh, I love it.
And we didn't have screens to look at. Like I heard in the 2025, everyone's looking at their screens,
Yeah. Tripping over their own feet, reading stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, glad you all are here with us. We always have a great discussion. Real quick, Jim, before I have you, I know you got to leave, before we have you talk about going live on Substack and talking about how easy it is. Just real quick, just want to remind everybody, come join us on School, because this is where we continue our discussions. We're here live streaming for an hour each week, but we're having lots of discussions over here on School. It's free, school.com/Madalyn Sklar. There's some new updates coming. I'm going to talk about it in just a little bit. I'm so excited. This is a great platform to build your own community. And yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of great conversations. Some of them that are in here we're going to talk about today. So I just wanted to remind everybody, go join us there. It's a great place to be, to keep these conversations going, meet new people, like-minded people. So be sure to sign up. It's also in the ticker as well. So links there as well. Jim, you put out a really good post about how to go live on Substack. I know you're just all in on Substack. I love it. And like I said before, we can all learn so much from how you're utilizing it. And you're big with live streaming. Live streaming is your thing. So tell everybody just briefly, like, what's up with I know Substack for a while, it looked like it was not easy to live stream. And then I noticed when, especially a lot of journalists were trying to use it earlier this year, a lot of problems, and especially with the app. But it seems like it's all better now, and this thing is working great.
Yeah, the app, I did what I did was I went live, and before I went live, I was doing a lot of screenshots. So then I used Canva and I combined it with the file from the live stream to create kind of a layout of how you go live. And so it's really easy to go live with the native app, on your smartphone. I think you can use it even on a tablet if you really wanted to, but I think sometimes it's easier to walk around with your phone. I like how it has that Instagram feature of you can flip the camera front to back. You can also turn your camera off, so you could be like Barb and just be an audio avatar. And it had me and Bez talking today that maybe there's a way, if you create if you want to call it a private session, like you could do something like a LinkedIn audio or Spaces where people don't have to have their cameras on, because you can invite people to join your Substack on the app as long as they also have an account. So it's like you can add people. And so then you're not having to worry about, oh, I got to set up StreamYard. I got to do, Ecamm or whatever. But you can also do that. But this just makes it easy. Go live on the fly. And then what I love about it is once you're done, you have the option of, yes, you could publish it right away. But what I tend to do is from the phone, I send it to the web, and it actually shows up in the drafts of my publication, which then allows you to download it, repurpose it. Not to mention, they're creating clips out of your live already. So you don't even have to go to Opus Clips. Now, I don't know how good those clips are yet. I haven't really dove into the clips. But I think the bigger thing, and that's what I did with this video specifically, was I then wrote a blog post to go along with it. So now you have a choice. You can read about it, or you can, watch the video. So it's kind of that, are you a visual person? Are you someone that likes to read? I don't know. Maybe I should have did an audio of the reading. So that's one of those things that I got to consider.
I just love this. It's a very in-depth article, but I love the video embedded on here. I'm going to play just a little bit. Are you good for a few minutes, or do you need to run?
I'm going to have to run, but I definitely want to
fine.
talk about this more. But yeah, thanks for letting me share.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us and talking about this. We'll see you next time.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.
Thanks, Jim. So I'm going to play a little bit of this, y'all, because this video is really good. Jim talking about like how to get started with this.
All right. I wanted to show you how we are able to do live with the Substack app. And so we start out here in the app on our page. You can be on your home. It doesn't really matter which tab you have, but you're going to hit the plus in the lower right. And when you do that, it's going to pop up this page here that will show you have these choices. And so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the go live. And when we hit go live, it's going to pop up our next one here where it shows us who, and we can put our title in. We're going to be able to pick our audience, when we want to go live, and also if you want an email to go out to your subscriber list. So you can turn that on or off, and so you'll see some different options. And so if you have multiple publications, when you pick the audience, it's going to let you to decide where you want the live to go to. It can go to everyone. It can go to your publication, which it's going to allow you to save this as a draft when it's done, so it doesn't automatically publish to your publication if that's what you're considering. And so one of the things that I wanted you to be able to see too is that if you decide that you want to schedule, you can actually schedule by clicking the when you want to go live, and you can see you can actually set it between 15 minutes up to 3 months in advance. So that's a really neat feature. I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. I'll have the link to this video available in the YouTube description for this live stream. I always do that. I'm pretty good at putting it also over on my Facebook replay as well. But y'all can always go to my @Madalyn Sklar YouTube, and I'll always have links to everything we went through on the live. But I'm gonna make sure that's all there because he walks through step by step. We don't need to watch all that now. I just want to show you like how easy it is to go live. And it was great watching that little bit because my strategy, even though I'm still kind of working up my Substack, I don't really have it fully launched, but I am on there and I am posting from time to time, just, the feed part to just, connect with other people, but I haven't started using it as a newsletter yet. But seeing that you can either have a live stream go to everybody in your Substack community or breaking it down by your different sections. And when I set mine up, I was like, well, should I have two different ones, one for my Madalyn Sklar stuff and one for my Kratom Stories podcast? But everybody knows Madalyn is this, and Madalyn is also Kratom Stories. Just like 20-something years ago when I ran my Go Girls music community, which was my little side passion project, but I also taught social media, or back when I was a music business coach. Like I always juggled two things. But the thing is, over time, it got to the point where people know Madalyn Sklar is this. Usually she's two things because she always has to do two things. I don't know why, it's just how I am. So I was just thinking, why not make it easier for myself on Substack, and I'll have my Madalyn Sklar social media, my Madalyn Sklar for the feed, because people in any community that know me want to see all my stuff, usually not like a specific newsletter on something they're not interested, but the feed is more generic. Like, it's like a Twitter feed, right? And I can just have my social media and AI shortcuts newsletter there, and then have another newsletter that'll be for my Kratom community. And I'm going to try that to see, because you know what? When it comes to all this stuff, it's okay to experiment and try things. There's no rule book that says, no, Madalyn, you got to go set up 2 Substacks. No, I don't. People know my name, and if they're interested in something I'm doing, like I think some people want to just follow me and get that feed like Twitter. And then some people are going to want a specific newsletter, and some people are going to be like, oh, these are both interesting also. And then it makes me think maybe I'll even do some others.
Madalyn, this is great. This is great because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And people, your subscribers, can pick which one they are curious about. For me, podcasting or meditation. They're different, but it's still me. Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's like with Substack, it looks like we have all these options. And Rachel, I mean, you've been using Substack longer than any of us. Are you doing that? Are you like kind of breaking things down, or are you doing separate?
I'm doing posts. I don't really do live or audio just because of time issue more than anything else. But Substack Notes, to me, has replaced what Twitter used to be. So, and I like it because both are indexed by Google. So you're not losing anything by spending more time on Substack from a visibility perspective, but you may not have the same growth. Like it took me 2 years to get to about 7,500 subscribers. Most are free, not trying to imply that I have 7,500 paid subscribers. But, and on X, I have 100,000. So I've been there for a long time, but I'm not getting anywhere near. In fact, I wanted to bring this up to you. On Tuesday, I spent a full morning hour just responding to people on my Substack from different posts, on notes. There were so many comments, and I was like, this is insane. Like, I love this. This is great.
It's old Twitter. It's old Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm frustrated with how X, having a gazillion followers
Doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't make a difference. Nobody see. And then it used to be in the last year, 1 to 2 years, even though the algorithm has changed so much that if you were getting plenty of comments on your posts, it would bring things up. And I see some of my posts where there are like a handful of comments, but the views are still crazy low, as if there was nothing. And I'm just not understanding why. I think part of it is that Elon's been sidetracked all year and even part of last year. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. The algorithm has been better, but not in a long time. It used to be for a while, like it was bad at first, and then he fixed it, and then it got bad again. So I think this is why a lot of people are going over to Substack. I think they're frustrated with X and other platforms. Facebook has its issues. I think, this is why Substack, I think, is part of why they're doing so well. People are looking for something refreshing and giving you that old school of what social media used to be.
I agree. And I think it's becoming more and more well known as well. For example, a year ago, if I mentioned Substack to a client, their eyes would glaze over. Now they're like, oh yeah, I subscribe to like 50 Substacks. So it's a conversation that people are understanding more because it's much more popular, and it's going to change. They've already said they're going to have advertising. That's going to really change it.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent, I don't know.
Won't know until it pops up so we can see what it is. But thank you for sharing that.
Try it. See how
Absolutely.
it goes.
It's really, I'm really liking it. I just need to spend more time on it, which I do. I will. I'm going to work on that. Rose is here in the comments, and guess what, y'all? She, to sit here and like earlier when we started at the top of the hour, we were definitely having an issue with this live stream not showing up, even though it was live. I think the algorithm is definitely the StreamYard, because I'm doing this. I should have known not to do StreamYard reusable studios. I'm not going to do that anymore. Anyway, Rose DM'd me and she said, I was going to listen to your chat. I don't see it on the timeline. Then eventually she saw it. So it's what I suspected. It's there, but you'd have to go, you'd have to physically go to @Madalyn Sklar or any of the, we're broadcasting all over the place, and thank y'all panelists that are pushing this out to your social media. But I think the algorithm is finally kicking in. I don't know if I'm thinking StreamYard has a delay with the way they're doing that. So
Hi, Rose.
But
thank you for letting us know that, by the way.
She's in the comments. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because we were having this conversation earlier, how come there's two viewers when normally the algorithm kicks in the way.
On X, it's tricky too. When I posted earlier about this particular live stream, I have to just tell people there's no link. You just have to go find Madalyn
on X
at that time on X.
Only X. I do schedule these each week, and if you go to I always tell people that really the best place is YouTube, because YouTube is best for being able to find replays. They make it so simple and easy, whereas everything else is in the feed. And then you got X, where they don't even show you the schedule. It just pops up. But the algorithm normally works so well, and we'll usually have the most people on X watching this, on my X. But not today. And I definitely know what StreamYard did, and I don't like it. So I'm going to change how I did this today. It was an experiment I did today, and it definitely failed like it did long time ago when I tried doing this. So lesson learned.
So you went using reusable studio?
Yep. When that feature came out on StreamYard a long time ago, I don't know if it was that long, but what, Barb, when was that, about a year or two? I don't think it was that long ago, but I think it might have been before they sold the company. I'm trying to remember. But when it came out, I was like, oh, we can just use the same studio over and over, and I don't have to keep sending a new link to y'all. But it failed miserably, and it was brand new though. So I just figured, okay, it was buggy. So I never went back to it.
I don't think it is your reusable studio, because I use them every single day on my account. But if you will check the StreamYard group on Facebook today, there were more updates. Also on YouTube this week. They did they did major changes on YouTube this week. So
But it
everything
was
is happening,
X was real.
but it's not.
X was the most
um,
obvious to me. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a StreamYard thing because this affected multiple platforms. So that makes me think
Wow.
this. I don't know. I'll look into it more, but
But
I mean,
I don't think it's your. I love reusable studios, and I
are
really
yours
don't think.
scheduled? Are yours always scheduled?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the way it looked to me is that being that it was scheduled, it was like StreamYard turned this on and it was everywhere. I saw that, but nobody knew, like the algorithm didn't kick in on any of these. Like maybe there was a delay on the schedule. I don't know, something just definitely off, but it seems to be better now. I just don't, y'all, I've been live streaming a long time and I do lots of them and every week. And it's like, and I'm detail oriented anyway. And I catch little things. I was like, what is going on with StreamYard? But
Thank you for being the guinea pig.
I don't ever mind.
I
don't ever
love
mind.
it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Y'all, I've always been this way. And I hope that by doing that, I'm kind of leading by example. I want people to just not be afraid to try things because what's the big deal if it doesn't work? It's okay. Just try and experiment with things. And, when it comes to our communities, people just care about being around us, right? If they're following you on social media, they don't care about little things and hiccups. And, like if my doorbell started ringing, like nobody's going to care. Nobody cares. Or if my dog started barking, she doesn't bark because, she's a husky. She whines, doesn't bark. But like people just don't care about that stuff. They just want to be around the person they're interested in hearing from. So anyway, all right, I got lots to talk about. I want to dive into ChatGPT, brand new. They just posted this last night. So of course I got all excited. So I know a lot of people are on the free ChatGPT. Now I'm on the plus, $20 a month. I love it. I love all the features. One of them is the projects feature, which I've talked about here multiple times. It's a great feature. Is basically folders. You can organize very much like Magi, because Magi's had that from the start. And that was one of the things that attracted me to Magi in the beginning when that first came out. And I still use Magi. I love Magi. I talk about it a lot because it is such a great tool. Let me put that up on the thing. That's great when you want the all-in-one, when you've got like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, all the different LLMs and image generators. It's like an all-in-one place for just one low cost. For $20 a month, you get everything. And I've talked about before here how my strategy is I have that, but I also like having ChatGPT Plus, which is $20 a month for some other things. And especially because of that audio feature I love so much, where I talk to it on my phone like it's a person, and I love that. I love brainstorming that way. So I know not everybody is going to use it the same way I do, and I know plenty of people just use the ChatGPT free, which is great. I mean, it can do a lot. But one thing they just announced, I was super excited to share with y'all, is that now y'all can use the projects feature. And I love it because not only is it great for organizing things, but also it remembers things. If you I have so many folders. So I have a project specifically for this live stream. And I can give it instructions like, it'll help me with the YouTube title and description. Like after this is over, I'll work with ChatGPT to kind of help me like take the transcript, or I just tell it all the things I talked about and help me with a really good catchy title and a really good description. But sometimes I want to, it'll be like, you know what? I want it to be in the same style each week. And it will remember things like that in that project. And I really like that a lot. I like that it can, because you can have things with the memory globally for your entire ChatGPT, but I like how you can do things specifically by project. And that's been one of the things I love about it. So I love that now free users will have access to this. But also in addition, it says that for the free account, you'll have larger file uploads per project. So you can have up to 5 for free, 25 for plus, and 40 for the pro, business, or enterprise. So that's good to know. Also, a newer feature for the paid users is the option to select colors and icons for your customization. That's one of the things I like when I'm in the projects. Let me see if I can make this screenshot a little bit bigger. So I can categorize that, not only have them categorized, but put a color to each folder. which I think is just kind of cool. So now they're making that available for all the free users as well. And as I was saying before, project only, the memory can just really help. I found it to be a lot better when you're utilizing projects. So
Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question. Well, first of all, I love color coding, but also on Magi, the version of ChatGPT on Magi will have all of these new things as well. What do you think?
Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat that again, because I was
on Magi. When you're using Magi,
mm-hmm.
the ChatGPT that's in the package,
yeah,
that's the free version. Do you think it has all of these bells and whistles?
It has some, but not like. Dustin has to specifically put some things in, and I'm not really because if I'm using ChatGPT,
we'll ask Dustin next time.
I'll have to ask him and check into that. But I don't like the audio thing. He was able to have a version of that audio feature, but it's not the same thing. It's a bit different, and it just depends on the API and what all he can work with. We might have to get him to come back on. We haven't had him here in a while and see if he can chat with us and answer. Rose says the free ChatGPT will remember your tone and instructions, but she hasn't tried projects yet. You'll like projects. I love it for organizing and the way it will remember things specific to a project. But yeah, this is a great feature. So excited that this is now available to all users. And there's also an article. I'll definitely link this in the YouTube description, but there is, I was reading an article about it from Engadget talking about how this rolled out to all, and if you don't have it yet, then it's probably still being rolled out, but it's a nice little article all about this that some people might find helpful. So definitely check that out. And then another new feature that just came out is over at Notebook LM. Y'all know I like Notebook LM. I talk about it from time to time. And so what they just rolled out this week is, y'all may remember they have their audio overview thing that's really cool, where you put in your sources of content, and then it's like these two people having a conversation about whatever the topic is. And now but it was just a man and a woman's voice. You couldn't change anything. It's a man and a woman's voice. They eventually added a feature where you could have it be more brief, or the default where it's, however long it is, or a longer. But now they went even further, and you'll see on here, it says the default is still the deep dive. Because, it always starts on, we're doing a deep dive on blah, blah, blah. And it says it's a thorough examination of your sources. The brief is 1 to 2 minute, kind of like a bite size overview. And there's new critique, which is an expert review offering constructive feedback on your material, and another new one called debate, a thoughtful debate between two hosts. And the thing is, it's kind of cool, is they have some different voices. So let me see if I can play this, make this a little bit bigger, so hopefully y'all can see.
This is the brief on understanding Wi-Fi. Okay, so you know how sometimes your internet just drags?
Welcome to The Critique. Today we're diving into Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, looking at its take on those big...
Welcome to the debate. Today we're diving into a common, yet really quite fascinating point of contention: how we truly classify.
That's pretty cool. Maria, that last one almost sounds like you. Very
well,
similar.
It's funny how they have the in there too.
I noticed that,
right?
When I came across this week. I'm like, wow, they're really trying to make it sound like a real person.
A real person, yeah.
Which is interesting. I like that. And I noticed on ChatGPT, when I'm doing my little brainstorm sessions and talking to it, the newer 5 version, it definitely seems to be even better with that. Like, as if it's like even more like a real person. The way it pauses, the way it talks to you is very interesting.
I don't know if the fluctuation of her voice is changing volume very much, though. Interesting.
Yeah.
All of this audio stuff is fascinating to me, of course.
It is. But
yeah.
I love that they're adding more features to that audio. And they recently added that video overview, which we talked about recently. So I love that they're just always doing these updates. I feel that Notebook LM is just one of those that we don't hear about all the time. I just feel like it's just one of those where it can do so much, but people mostly talk about ChatGPT. They get a lot of attention, and right now Gemini with that 2.5 Flash, and I got some new stuff to show you with that. That's mind blowing. But Notebook LM, if you haven't spent time there, I definitely recommend. Let me pull it up real quick for anybody that needs a quick refresher. You just go to notebooklm.google.com. And it's free. I mean, they have a paid one, of course, but on the free. And what I did was from last week, I took, it's by sources. You can put URLs, you can put YouTube links, you can put whatever, and you can put a whole bunch in. What I did is I took the YouTube URL from last week's live stream. I put it in as the source. And then here in the middle is a summary. And then I came over here and I had to do the audio overview, video overview. There's all this stuff you can do. I don't have the new audio over what we just saw with the audio overview. I don't have it yet because when I click on this and customize, it still shows the other ones. So I don't have it yet, but I'm sure it's still being rolled out. But it's cool because, you can listen to it like a podcast. Let me play a little snippet.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're dissecting two powerful shifts that are rapidly redefining how we create, share.
Or I can do the video one.
If you're a creator, you know the grind. But what if you could work smarter?
It's just one of those tools that can do, it really packs a punch. It does a lot. So for those that haven't really spent much time in this, I definitely recommend play around with it a little bit because people are starting to talk about it. People are starting to realize it's a very powerful AI tool. Have any of y'all used it much? I mean, I don't think to use it all the time, but every once in a while, especially, I love just how you could just put in a link to a YouTube video. Like there might be like a long YouTube video of like, man, I don't have time to watch this whole thing, but I could put that in and say, give me a summary. Give me like a full summary of this.
Can you put a podcast in there? Just audio?
Yeah, you can put in like all different kinds of files. You can even put in like your audio, like MP3s. And because one of the things I've thought about doing is taking my Kratom Stories podcast, putting in all the MP3s of the episodes and maybe see if it could help me write like some kind of ebook or something. Or another idea, I haven't done any of these yet, but I have the ideas. Or take all that content and build a custom GPT based on my knowledge that's in all of those episodes. And have, so I want to come up with something where it can easily answer questions for people in a custom GPT. Like I really should have a Star GPT when, people have questions for me, like they just want to ask on the fly, we'll go to my custom GPT and just ask it. And it has all my knowledge in there. It's supposed to be pretty cool. I've heard a lot about doing that. I just haven't done it myself yet. But it's just one of those things on my list to do.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I logged into mine while you were talking, and the last ones I did were in January, so it's clearly time to go back and try it again.
Yeah. Jim says, love playing with Gemini, works well on the smartphone app as well. Yeah, I know last week we talked about the Gemini 2.5 Flash, also known as Nano Banana, such a funny name. I thought
and that's when you changed your shirt, right? Your shirt color?
So, yeah, I'm going to show, yeah.
Awesome.
So, because I know you weren't here with us last week, Maria, you shared my tweet earlier. And with that photo that was on that Twitter, let me just make it easy and pull this up so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I had posted this yesterday. Hold on, I got to just switch screens real quick. So bear with me. We're on a live stream. That's how live streams work.
That's okay. I can provide commentary.
I'm pretty fast though. I got it. But thank you. So I did this tweet yesterday or post. I got to be PC correct, right? So, last week I did a demo. We went in depth on how to use that new Gemini 2.5 Flash. And I've been having so much fun playing with this, y'all. So I have like all these photos I from a while back. It's like my own little, headshots I took like right behind me, get a tripod and take a bunch of pictures. And in literally seconds, I just had it change. I said, make the shirt white and have it say, I love AI with a cool design. And like, boom, there's the image. So when I'm doing some of my tweets talking about AI, it's like I want to keep changing up the image. It's like normally it'd be like, well, now I got to do a whole nother set of headshots because I've been using the same thing for a while. Now I feel like I'm just freshening things up because I'm totally I mean, I can change the colors, the back. I can do so much in seconds that normally you do in Photoshop or Canva that would take a bit of time. So
And
I'm
that's in
having,
Gemini?
yeah, in
Okay.
that Gemini, which is Google AI, gemini.google.com. And I'm going to show y'all a few things. So for anybody that missed last week, be sure to watch the replay over on my YouTube channel because we talked about it quite a bit. So what I want to do is I'm going to play a couple of video clips of this guy's video talking about some of the cool things you can do with Gemini that kind of goes beyond what we were talking about last week. And then I'm going to do a demo to show y'all because it's just some really cool stuff you can do that I'm really excited about that I just want to show off because I want to make sure people know how easy this is to do and that y'all can be doing this yourself. And it's a big time saver. I mean, I'm pretty good at utilizing Canva. I used to, before Canva, Photoshop and I don't know how many of y'all have ever used Photoshop. First of all, it was crazy expensive back in the day. And I felt like I only used like 1% of what it could do. It was like super crazy, all the stuff you could do, but I'm not a graphic designer. So I know it was the graphic design tool, but I learned enough where I could crop and I could do little things and add some text. And I just remember it took a long time. It was just such a learning curve and then they'd always make these huge updates and then you have to relearn how the whole thing works. But then Canva came along and made things a lot easier for us non-graphic designers to do simple design work. Otherwise use hire graphic designer, which I've done plenty, but I like to be able to do some minor things myself. Now we don't even need Canva. Like this Gemini is free, can do so much. So I'm going to play a couple of just some short clips that I want y'all to see of just really cool things that this can do. So let me play this first one.
Next way that you could potentially make money with this is by creating YouTube thumbnails, either for yourself or other creators. And this is actually a pretty big opportunity because every YouTuber needs thumbnails, and most of them are either really bad at making them or they're paying someone to do it for them. And that's where you can come in. You can make these for YouTubers. So I came over here to AI Studio and I uploaded one of my old thumbnails that had done really well in the past. So because this one had done well in the past, I want to use it again as a template for a future video. But this photo of me, this is not what I look like anymore. This date up here is out of date as well. And I don't want a thumbnail that looks exactly the same. So I also uploaded a photo I just took of myself. And I told Google to replace the photo of the person in this thumbnail with my new photo. I want to update the date here to September 2025 and maybe change up the background a little bit. And in just a few seconds, this is what it was able to produce for me. The exact same thumbnail, but updated, the correct date, an updated image of me, but it maintained things like the finger pointing at the box. It maintained.
Isn't that wild? Like how easy it was to just make these very minor changes like that. I just love this because I think this is just so cool. It gives me ideas of like little things I can do to fix up an image. Let me play another short clip.
This next one is really fun. So check this out. You can use Nano Banana to do a mock-up of what tattoos will look like on you or what they'll look like on a client. So I uploaded this photo of myself and I use this one because you can really see my arms here. And I said, give me a full sleeve on my left arm in the traditional tattoo style. Now, it didn't get it 100% right because it added a sleeve on both of my arms, but just check this out. I mean, this looks so good. The image is exactly the same. It is still me. It is still the exact image of me, except they added a sleeve to both of my arms. So now I can get an idea of what I look like with this style of tattoo on.
Is that wild or what? I mean, like
Wow.
it's just to give you the ideas of like what all you could do. So of course, I watched that little snippet and I go, I wonder what I look like without the tattoos because my arms are covered. So so let me show y'all a demo of how how freaking cool this is. Because I'm like, gosh, I've had all these tattoos for so long. I wonder what I would look like now if I didn't have them. So I thought, well, this will be fun. So I thought, well, I'm going to show y'all because this will be really cool. So I go into Gemini and let me go pull one of those headshot photos. I just like this because they're showing like interesting ideas, not like, oh, you need to go see what you look like with tattoos or without, but just to get you thinking about all these cool different things you can do and how simple it is. Like, I mean, imagine doing big prompts. This is just simple prompts. All right, so I'm going to put in one of my photos and I'm going to say remove the tattoos from my arms. Let's see what it does. And it's quick too. I can't get over this is way quicker than ChatGPT when it does images. Look how fast that was. So
Wow.
here's me without all the tattoos. So hold on, let's do before and after. So before, it just takes them all off. And it looks pretty good. Like
It does.
It doesn't look like when ChatGPT does or some of the other image generators, it just doesn't always do it properly, and they'll do something. One of the things like with ChatGPT, like I just don't like doing the facial stuff, like images of people, because when you prompt it to do something, it'll totally change your face,
Yeah.
or it'll mess up the text on your shirt. Like it'll just do funky things.
Mhm.
Whereas this still looks like me. It didn't really it just removed the tattoos on my arm. So
What did it do to the heart behind you?
well, it was already like
Oh, okay.
It's just the way the the blurred background. So it was already like that.
And that's that same picture that you did the I Love AI that was a
Yeah,
white shirt.
yeah. I mean, I have a whole bunch of photos like that. So I've
That's
just been
awesome.
kind of swapping out. Yeah, let me bring this back up exactly because we can
Because
see
we
here.
all know we have a couple of favorite photos of ourselves. And then we
Absolutely.
get tired of looking at them. You might as well change clothes.
So I'm gonna say I changed my shirt to say I love
Yeah.
AI with a heart on the end. I just can't get over how
Wow.
fast it does this. This works so this is new for those. If anybody missed last week's live stream, we went into detail on this, but it's gemini.google.com. Gemini is a really popular AI tool. I like Gemini. It's really good, but this image generator thing is incredible. And just from those little video clips I showed y'all, that guy showing different examples. And there's one more clip I'm going to play for y'all because he has a whole thing on creating headshot, like professional headshots or changing things up to, just different scenes, like make you an astronaut and stuff. Is really cool. So I'm going to show that next. I just wanted to play around with this some more as a demo because this is a little bit slower than normal, but still overall it's still quick. It's not bad. And while we're waiting on that,
Madalyn, I'm sorry. Does it just do still images right now? It doesn't do video, right? Like an old YouTube video. I can't change my shirt there.
I don't think so. I think this is just look how cool that is.
Yeah.
So that's a cool font. Now let's say I didn't like the font or I wanted something or like it kept my Libsyn.com as a podcast. So I could probably just say remove the Libsyn.com. I'm sure it'll remove that. Yeah, I'm going to play one more clip. But also, while we're waiting for that, Rose says, cool use of Gemini. Canva has AI now. And, Rose, I've tried that Canva AI. I can't ever get to work. The only thing I like with Canva AI stuff is that new Canva Magic, where you can pull up the text. Like I can make a thumbnail. And I've shown you all that workflow I have here, where I've been using vidIQ to kind of get the ideas together, but it never can perfect it the way I want. So I get it as good as I like it, and then I go into Canva and use the Magic AI feature, not where you give it prompts. That thing I can't ever get to work properly, but with the Magic section, you can change backgrounds easily. You can move text. So I can take text that was created over on vidIQ, which is a whole different platform, and I can highlight it and very quickly move it around. I can make it bigger. I can change the font. It gives you all these amazing features in that. So for me, it's been worth paying. I forgot whatever is the lowest paid account you can get on Canva. It's worth it to have that whole AI feature. But the prompt thing and Rose, I don't know if you're talking about that prompt thing, but that AI prompt thing never works well for me. I get really frustrated with it. Let me play, one more video clip of that guy because he walks through this really cool section on making your own headshots without having to have a photographer. And not to put photographers out of business. Like, I don't like that. But it's really cool what all you can. It's just really, this is to show you all the capabilities you can have with a free tool.
Yeah, Gemini is really good. It has a huge context window, so you don't run out of tokens, or it doesn't hallucinate as much. So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. Y'all be prepared to be blown away. And I think we should all have homework of following what he shows us.
The fifth one I have on the list for you today, and this might actually be one of the best ways to start a business quickly using Nano Banana, is to create professional headshots. You can take someone's casual selfie or just a casual photo of them and transform it into a polished LinkedIn ready headshot with professional lighting, appropriate business attire, industry specific backgrounds, everything that you need. So for instance, I came in here, uploaded this photo of me, and I said, create professional headshots of this person. I want 2 of them. Now, it only produced 1 of them, but it is an excellent headshot. It looks really, really nice. This is one I would definitely use on LinkedIn. And what really stands out about this one for me is that when I've tried this in the past with other AI generators, it always messes things up, like my nose ring or my facial hair or the color of my eyes. This one nails it perfectly. You can even see all the moles, like the one on my neck, the one on my forehead up here. It maintains all of that. Here's another one right here. All of that is maintained. It just crafted it into this professionally looking headshot. So this time I told it to make another one, but this time keep in mind that my occupation is a professional YouTuber. Now, I don't love this one, but it did, I guess, get it right. I mean, this does look like a YouTuber's background. I'm not sure what's going on with the vest here, but hey, that's something you could definitely tell it to get rid of, and you would easily be able to do that. I then asked it to create a profile for a lawyer in a law library, and it made a really nice
That's
headshot
impressive.
for that one. This one is for a doctor. This one is for a real estate agent, a dog walker we have here, and even an astronaut. So obviously I had a lot of fun with this one.
Isn't that cool? Like, I have so many ideas now.
Yeah, I didn't like that vest either.
No, the vest was kind of dumb, but it did have a YouTube feel, the way it had the background and the colors.
Yeah, and the
It was
neon and stuff.
very,
Yeah.
very YouTube. But he's just putting simple prompts.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you're just doing more detailed prompts, it'd probably be even better. But one thing I did notice, I mean, played with it all last week and this week, is sometimes, like, you're going along and you keep asking it, well, change this or do that. Sometimes it'll get to a point where it just doesn't do it right. And when I notice this, when I start getting frustrated, like, wait a minute, I just said to do this and didn't do it. Close it out, start a new one, start a new chat. That's what I've noticed. So sometimes if it gets to the point, I think if we ask it too many things, maybe, I don't know. Cause I mean, it's new. So maybe it's a little buggy with that. I get great results with it. I just know that if I just, like I was showing y'all, let's take this photo and take the tattoos off.
Mhm.
Now let's change the shirt. If I do a few more of those, it'll probably get to the point where it's almost as if it's overloaded and doesn't understand me because it's not doing what I'm asking it to do anymore. And I'm just like, and I'll keep reiterating. It's like, this thing's fried. So let me just start a new chat and then maybe pick up where I left off,
I found that after I generated, I did the one where you change the shirt color and change things on the shirt color. And I started with an AI avatar I'd already created of myself. And I found that after the 5th one, it started degrading the image.
Yeah.
I mean, the hair wasn't, I was like, and I didn't even realize it at the time. I was just rolling right along because it was so fast and did such a great job. But the very last one I did, it had become dark. And I mean, it was the same image. You could tell it's the same images, but the quality of it was really downgraded.
Yeah, it seems like
So-
it gets to a point where it's just like fried and it can't do anything else for you. the way
Right.
you
And
want.
just start
You just start
again.
over. Just start over. That's what I found. That
Do you
worked
think
best.
the quality is impacted by whether you're loading it with a real photo or an already AI generated photo?
I put in
I've
real
done it
photos.
both ways. I've
Okay.
done
And it
both
was the
ways,
same?
And yep,
Yeah.
After a certain volume, it decides
Right.
I'm tired.
I think that's the word. I
Okay.
think that's a perfect way of describing it, Barb. It's the volume and it's tired. It's like we overloaded its brain and now you just got to start fresh.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out because it was something I did notice in the past week. And I'm like, this is because I just get to the point I start getting mad. I'm like, why aren't you listening to me? Like, because I just keep like making little changes, and it's perfect. And I'm like, wait, one more thing. But then it's like, it doesn't do it. I'm like, it literally give me the same image. I'm like, I just asked you to do this and still doesn't do it. I'm like, I think it needs a nap. It's tired.
One more question. How does it do on undo what you just did? Will it undo a request pretty easily if you change your mind?
I don't know. That'd be
Because you know how on most programs, when you undo it, it has a limit of how many you can undo.
Right.
I'm wondering if
a good question. That's a good question. I don't know.
Especially if you're just experimenting, you might just be kind of making
Right.
up ideas to see what it looks like.
Right.
And then go, no, switch.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it gives you a downloadable copy for each iteration. So when, like the one that was on my tweet that you shared today, when I got one I liked, I downloaded it, so I have it, and then I'll keep going, and it's like, oh, I like this one too. I download that one because I have all these variations of it. So at least I already have a saved copy. And then also what I did with one where it kind of like timed out and wouldn't do it anymore, I started a new chat and just uploaded one of the ones it already done for me, and then like kept going, and it was okay for a bit. So it's just trial and error, figuring out, it's new. We're all trying to figure out what all we can do with it before it breaks. But I would definitely play with it. Gemini.google.com is super impressive. Now, the only thing is, I don't know why, we talked about it last week. I'll bring it up again. It doesn't save my chats. And Barb, I was thinking, I know we talked about last week and you were trying to help me figure that out. It possibly could be, and I don't know 100%, because I have the Gemini app's activity is turned off. I don't want it to save and use my, Dustin from Magi taught us this a few months back when he was on here. I don't want to, that's probably what it is, but that's because when it's saved, yeah, I see what it is. You're giving direct access to Google AI. I see what they're doing. So like that whole privacy thing that Dustin's talked with us about, how you can go into the settings for each of these, ChatGPT, Gemini, Notebook, all of them, and have it so they can't train on your data. I see what Gemini, and this must be newer because I don't remember it being worded like this, but when I go to it now on the left here, let me just pull it up so y'all can see, because on the left sidebar, I see.
And Madalyn, you're talking about chatting with the app itself. That's what you're trying to erase. You don't want them to have access to that.
Well, it's like, when you're like in ChatGPT, your sidebar shows all your past chats you've done, right?
Requests. Yeah.
Yeah. All
okay.
the individual things I've done.
So it's the brainstorming itself.
But the thing is, I have the whole privacy, I have it adjusted on ChatGPT so they're not training my data with anything. I still can see all my previous chats, but over here, it doesn't show them anymore. But I did turn this off because, Dustin had talked about, like, if you don't want this training on your data and having access to it and making it public. So it's interesting because when it says Gemini apps activity is off, turn it on here. When I click to turn it on, that's where it says at the top, Gemini apps gives you direct access to Google AI. Your chats are saved in your account for up to 72 hours, whether Gemini apps activity is on or off. That's interesting that it's saved, but I can't see it. Google uses this data to provide. See, I have it turned off, and they're telling me they're still using my data for 72 hours. They're
that doesn't
using
seem
this
right.
to provide the service. Well, they're claiming to provide service, maintain its safety and security.
For your benefit, of course.
I mean, I just don't want, because like one of the things we learned about privacy with AI is, I realize y'all can't see the screen because it was a pop-up. Hold on, let me put this on here so y'all can see what I'm actually looking at. Privacy is important with these things, especially if you're having a conversation with your AI, talking about maybe its proprietary information or things that you wouldn't want to be public. If you have it so that they can train, and it's defaulted to train on your data on all of these, that there could come a day where you're like, oh, that sure was a mistake, because look at my stuff that's out there that the public can access on AI because you didn't have these turned off. Now, one of the things I love about Magi is that it's all private and secure, because you're able to get ChatGPT and Gemini and all of these over to his Magi servers, but his Magi servers are all locked down. They're bringing the data back and forth, but they're not living on those platforms. They're on his servers that he has secure, where his data, I mean, he always stresses they will never let any of that happen with your privacy is so important to them. I even have a video on my YouTube. If you go in the video section, I have like a video clip from one of our live streams where he talked about it. And it's just a great reassurance, because we're hearing more and more about some people's data, the way it's showing up publicly, that technically, even if you do have it on private or you delete, I know Dustin's talked about, if you delete your chats on AI, they're on their server.
They still have it, yeah.
And they're now saying with apparently with, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I had heard that with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, that, with lawsuits and stuff, they are giving over all this content that could be your sensitive data that you thought is gone because you hit the delete, or that you didn't have it set to private. So, it's just, the main thing is to be aware of how these all work. And if Gemini is set up so that I can't see my past chats because of the way I have that turned off, then I'm okay with that.
But it's still a mystery whether they have the content, even though you can't see it.
Right. Well,
they may have it.
It did disclose that they do for 72 hours, which I didn't realize.
So on all of these large LLMs, you can actually download it into, if you have a computer or a server that has enough RAM and it's beefy enough to run, and you could have your own private one. And I know people that do that. Because they don't want to mess with the possibility that their information goes out to public. So it's very localized on their machine. But you have to be a little techie to do that. And but if you're really worried about that, they let you download it and install it. So sort of like
a free version, like a free version of ChatGPT, you could just put on your own.
Yeah, you can download the latest model, and every time they give you a latest update. But
that's how Magi is. That's how Magi is. I mean, Magi is exactly that. It's an all-in-one place where it's on Dustin's company servers.
Yeah,
it's just bringing the data, like he's doing that part for you, because
exactly,
if you're not techie, that would be hard to do. So that's why I love having Magi for $20 a month. And he even put this on here, for he took my quote and put that on there. And he's letting me offer this special deal, 30% off for 3 months using my code Madalyn30, which is really nice of him to do. But privacy is extremely important to them, which I love and appreciate. So I don't ever have to worry about that when I'm using it. And they got all the models and you just peace of mind knowing your data is all secure. You got the folders, just like the ChatGPT projects. It's a very robust tool. I've always been impressed with it. It does a lot.
Yeah. No, that's and he definitely has to have the infrastructure to do. He has a lot of models, and just even one for most normal people, the machines that to make it work, that you have to have the memory, the RAM, and the graphics card, the GPU. Those machines are about $4,000 each just to run one model.
Oh, sure.
So it's not cheap, and you can maybe get away on a cheaper AMD machine that's just as good, but maybe you knock $1,000 off that machine. But one model, to run that's how much resources they take.
I just would rather pay $20 a month and
exactly.
be a bad guy and not have to worry about it.
I'm so glad you're saying this. Yeah, because it has so many different types of AI through Magi. I'm not sure, frankly, how many I would actually use, because it's a learning curve on each one for me. But the security of it may be worth it, even if I only use 2 of the things that are available.
Let me grab the video real quick. It's a short clip from one of our.
Because I think it can be intimidating when you see, for new people to AI especially, when you see you have access to 20 different ways of doing things, and that can cause a lot of anxiety. That's what we're looking to avoid.
Is Grok on that too?
Oh yeah, he has them all. Here, let me
does?
play this short. I have like just a short 3-minute clip that also has him talking about it here on the live stream earlier this year, and then at the very end, there's no sound. I just walk through where to go in ChatGPT, where to go in Gemini to adjust it. So let me play this real quick for y'all.
Yeah, my policy is we will never use a model. We will never integrate with a company or app or anything that does not respect our users' privacy by default. So most of these models, when you go sign up for ChatGPT, and I just found out today that ChatGPT has been changing my privacy settings despite me changing them over and over again to not train on my data. So most of these models reserve the right to train on your data. So all the conversations you have, they have the right to retain that information and to train their future models on it. So if you're putting proprietary information in there, data that is, proprietary to you, or stuff that is, even patented, if you're putting it into these models, if you don't find the setting or they don't make it available for you to say, do not train on my data, then they will. And in all likelihood, somebody could, a year down the road be asking the AI something and it regurgitates something close to what your proprietary information might be because it's been trained on it. So it's very important for you to make sure if you're using something like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini that you find the setting, if it's available, it's not always available, that says, do not train on my data. Today I found ChatGPT has changed their language to be a little bit more manipulative. I was stunned. Hold on, let me find the exact word here because it was in plain sight and it has changed. So it says data controls, improve the model for everyone. That is what it's labeled now. And it's an on-off switch that you have to click through to get the off switch. And essentially what it means to improve the model for everyone is that you're allowing ChatGPT to train on your chats, train its newer models on your information. So I would recommend turning that off. With Magi, it's always off by default. We do not even offer the opportunity for you to turn it on. We will never train on your data. We will not allow any of our providers to train on your data. Your data, when it is sent to these providers to process and send back into Magi, they are required to delete it as quickly as legally they are allowed to. So yeah, make sure you double check those settings because I always turn mine off on these other apps. Somehow it keeps getting turned back on.
Wow. And they'll walk through how to do it. I check it periodically just to make sure. Like in ChatGPT, you go over to settings. You can do it on either phone or desktop. Go to data controls. And each tool has it differently. So you have to go. So if you're using any of these individually, separate from Magi, here's Gemini. Go to the settings. And that was the page I was just showing y'all before. And then Perplexity. So just always go to the settings and make sure you have these turned off. They all have different language on how they call it and stuff. And that's why I think Destin is so smart, the way they're making your privacy and security a huge priority. So I really like that.
So one thing before we close up, can I ask you about X? Can we cover that even more in school? Because while we were in here today, I got my billing for my renewal, and it wasn't, there's actually a Premium Plus, and I didn't know that.
So that's the blue check mark paid account. There's different tiers. And it sounds like you're.
Well, it doesn't even say that didn't come up today. That's why I wanted to go into it because that didn't. It showed. I took a screenshot of what it said all the benefits were, and things. And like you had just said just moments ago about checking the latest terms and stuff. And there is the basic premium, and then there's the Premium Plus, and there's even one above that, I guess. And so there are like 3 different levels on there.
Yeah.
And they must have offered that one to me for free for, because that even, it has that, but I'm paying a little more for that than what's showing there.
Thank you for that
respond to
question.
page.
Well, this
Be a
is
problem.
showing. Okay, so right here is showing annual. So let me switch to monthly. If you're paying monthly, this
Oh,
is
so that must be so
you're
see
doing
that had
annual.
the reason that I'm doing, because I'm normally on annual, is they must have offered us a free trial of it and then just automatically put me on there.
Okay, so here's
at
here's
the
what
end
they
of that time.
here's what they did a few years ago. So the middle one that it used to be, it was just like $2.95. This is before Elon, $2.95 a month. It was just the one upgrade, and then Elon changed it all up. He did all these different tiers. The main one was still that premium one. What they did a couple years ago is if you have a certain number of followers on your account that are verified, meaning they have the blue check mark and they're paying. I forgot, I don't know if it's 2,000, it was some certain number, then they'll give you that account for free. So my blue check mark and my premium is because of that. I don't pay for it. But my understanding is an ongoing thing. I don't think it's an annual. I don't think like it's a trial thing. I think it's an ongoing, because I've had it for quite a while.
It was the blue check mark, it says that it's under the premium that you automatically get it on the premium account now. And that's when I went up to premium, that's what it was. But this premium plus is what they switched me to. And
that's expensive.
I am not. Yeah, I know. And I haven't, ironically, because I saw that super come up and I haven't actually, I did two things and I said, oh, God, I've got so many options. I don't want to be putting my commands in again and again. So that's number one on that one. So I'm definitely going to change it out. But I mean, we all got together through Twitter,
right.
X, and we've all been through all the BS with it. And my feeling is that, and Les, because I would like to learn from, I think is it Maria or Rachel that has the spaces every week?
I do. I have a few each week. And I love this question about X. Put the school app on the screen again, Madalyn, because to remind everybody, that's where I'm going to go, because I have to take off right now. Yeah. But I'm going to look in the school community, because we can expand on this conversation.
That's where we continue. Exactly.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because we're over an hour right now. And I know everybody watching is probably watching the clock too.
Yeah, y'all join school. That's the place to be. That's where we have the continuous discussions and we can answer more questions. Because we got to wrap up. But school.com/Madalyn Sklar is free.
Really?
I didn't have time to go into the new school stuff, but by next week, they're going to have the embedded native live streaming, which I'm excited because I will definitely do stuff that's not on social media like this. That will be, you have to be a member and sign up for free on there. And then in the next month or two, they're going to have subscription tiers, very much like Patreon. So, which will be awesome I've been waiting for a long time for this, because I've got this free account. Now I'll be able to have it so that I can have different tiers of the paid stuff as well, all in one place. Normally you have to have all these separate school accounts.
Wait, just to clarify, Madalyn's paying a little bit each month for her community, but it's free to all the participants in it.
Absolutely. It's free for everybody to join.
That's so nice.
That's how I have it set. You can start your own for as little as $9 a month. I pay $99 a month.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to clarify, because I want to start a community over there too. And when you said free, people might be like, what?
I'm glad you said that, because that's a great clarification.
Yeah.
It is, if you are a community
the admin
owner,
pays, the host.
The host pays because you get all the features. And I've used them all. This is truly the best one out there. And with the new features coming, it's incredible. Like, it's going to put all the others out of business for sure, because it's everything now. But they added this extra tier recently, $9 a month. So that's like a no-brainer. Like for $9 a month, and you can like start your own community versus the $99. $99 a month's a lot. Especially if it's if yours is set to be a paid community, that's different. But when it's a free one, I have two of them on school for my two communities, and so I pay $99 a month. But it's been worth it, because I want to have a free community for people to join, and I want to have it on that platform, because we get so much out of it. So, I mean, I could go on and on. We'll talk more about it next week, because with that live stream feature, I'm sure next week I'm going to talk about it and be like, hey, let's go over and do that later.
Are you going to test it out this week?
It's supposed to be available next week.
Okay.
So probably what
I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Oh, I can't wait. What I'll probably end up doing is when we're here next Thursday, very much in my style of how I like to do things. I'll probably say, can't do it right after this because I got to get ready for my next thing. But I'll probably say, I'm going to have a little pop-up live stream late this afternoon or tomorrow on Friday. Probably next Friday is when I'll do it. I want to wait for them to have it on. I'm ready to try it. And I think there'll be so much benefit for people to be in this free community because of that. I mean, to be able to have more access to me, we can just have a hangout queue. Bez, you're back to the 80s baby thing. We should put that in there, because we can just with the native live streaming, it's like if y'all want to come hang out with our fun little group, and actually probably should just have a $9 a month separate group for that, because I could see that being a big thing.
And you could play music because it's in a closed environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't go on YouTube. You can't go live and play music. They get you.
No, you get in trouble.
And each app is so different. It's hard to remember which one has which rules.
We got great
on
ideas.
school. You're safe.
Yeah. Madalyn, I'm testing I got 3 months for free, but I'm testing the higher version, but I can't really do much without the tiers. I really need the tiers. That's what I'm waiting for them.
I've been waiting a long time because, there's so many things I want to do. I'm going to relaunch my Video Like a Rockstar program. I went ahead and set up the $9, but I'm thinking, it'd just be easier to all be under my Madalyn Sklar School, right? And then just have, I think that the subscription tiers are most likely coming in October, they said, I think. Like, we still have about a month or so out.
That allows you to have one account. That allows you to have one account and then just
one account for every. Yeah, I didn't.
Different sub areas. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about more detail next week because I was going to go through it today, but we're out of time. But basically, you'll have the choice of it still be like it is now. You can have a free or a paid, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
With the new tiers, you have two ways of doing it. You could have a free, a pay to paid, so like maybe a free, a middle tier, and an upper tier, which I plan to do. Or it could be 3 paid tiers, like no free, but different levels. And what I plan to do is on the social media AI shortcuts, keep the free, so it's free for anybody to come join. And then the next one up will be whatever a dollar amount I come up with. And, the live stream, private live streams and just other things that we can do. And then I'll have the upper tier for like one-on-one consults, which I could, do in there or however. And it'll be a lot of cool stuff. It's going to make it a lot easier. And that's what I'm really excited about. Those guys have done an incredible job. I've been using School as a customer for like 2 years. It's an incredible platform. I've watched it grow. I mean, when I was on there, it wasn't very many people. It's grown tremendously. And now it's like probably the largest one. The guys have just done an incredible job building it. And people see the power of community, something I've been talking about for decades. And side note, I do have a book coming out. I don't know exactly when yet, but me and my sidekick, Kami Hoysa, we used to do a podcast together called Communities That Convert, teaching people how to build online communities. We're making a book version from our podcast we did years ago. We've been working on it for quite a while. So eventually it'll come out. I'm just very passionate about showing people the power of community and that we all have people that want to be around us, that we want to be around them, like-minded people, bringing like-minded people together. And, it's getting harder and harder on social media to build. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm going to get to read another book about community. I love communities. I just think they're the superpower.
It really is. And School is going to change the landscape of this. So the best thing for those that are not familiar with School, go join my free one for this, Social Media and AI Shortcuts. Sign up is free. So you can get a feel of, because that's how I first started. I joined somebody's community a few years ago, fell in love with them. Like, okay, I'm going to go start. There's a community I wanted to build off of social media. And so I built it there. I have social media, but I used the School and built it up really well over the years. And then this one I just started late last year. And then if you want to start your own, the choice is $9 a month or $99 a month for you as the owner of that community. So you can sign up, go to my little tinyurl.com/Madalyn School to go check it out. It shows you some examples of different schools. You can see what it looks like. Anyway, that's what we got for today. I got to run because it's late. Always a great chat with y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out and visiting. And
Thank you.
for those that got here late, you can watch wherever you're watching now. You can watch the replay when we end this. And thank you, y'all panelists, for sharing this on y'all social media. We are all over the place. We're on multiple Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. We are all over. We are global.
Yes. Looking forward to next week. I can't wait. And yeah, I need to. Hey, on school, are they letting you do multiple communities? It looks like it, right? Or
That's going to be the whole tiers thing. We'll be able to
Okay.
set up the multiple. Like right now is one at a time.
right. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's why I have multiple ones.
Oh,
But
yeah. Okay. So the
but
free,
we'll be
yeah.
able to, once. So that's not next week is when they're supposed to launch the native live streaming. So that's what's next up. Actually, we didn't have time to watch. They have a whole video they did this week because they do a video each week talking about what's new and what's coming. But the short version is they plan by next week at this time, they plan to have native live streaming, which means if you're using school and you've been paying for Zoom or Loom or some other tool, you won't need them anymore. You'll be able to do all your videos inside of there. And
Wow.
then, or actually, you could get rid of Loom because Loom you can do native uploads, which they've had for about a month or two now. So that gets rid of Loom if you were using it that way. And now you'll be get rid of Zoom if you normally were doing like like private webinars or private live streams. You can do it all inside of school. So lots of great stuff coming. I'll keep everybody posted. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see y'all next. Come hang out in school, but then we'll see you back here next Thursday.
All right. Thank you. Adios.
Bye, y'all.